Welcome to Golden Mastermind Seminars Radio with your host, Jeffrey Combs.
Good afternoon, everyone. Jeffery Combs, President and Founder, Golden Mastermind Seminars Incorporated. Going back 23 plus years, this Facebook Live actually started as an afternoon conference call called More Heart Than Talent. So welcome, everyone. Good to be here with you. That conference call at 5 o'clock Eastern then went to 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then 4+ years ago, this became Golden Mastermind Seminars Facebook Live. Welcome, everyone. Good to be here with you. Jared, good to see you this afternoon. Where are you today, Jared? If you're listening, let me know where you are today. Where are you? Are you traveling? Are you at home? Good to be here with you, Jared. It is 1:03 California time. We've reached the 1 o'clock hour. I'm going to move right into the inspiration for today's Facebook Live. First, I'm going to get dialed in my chair here. So good to be here with you this afternoon. Heber City, Utah. Good to see you, Jared. Pleasure to be here. Honor to be your coach and friend. Jared had the opportunity to attend the Millionaire Blueprint in July, and Scott Lucas had the opportunity to attend the last Breakthroughs to Success that I will ever orchestrate. That was in December of 2019. Good to be here with you today. Scott, TC, good to see you this afternoon. Topic for today's Facebook Live is being, doing, and receiving. A state of being it's a spiritual term. Also is very common in the recovery culture because it's be, do, have. I'm sure you've heard of that equation. Being is, who am I being today? Well, be sober. That's the first thing you want to be, is be sober and be your best self. Those are two situations that you absolutely are in command of. You can be your best self, but that would mean you're not procrastinating, you're not avoiding, you're not putting situations off. You're addressing situations in the present. That's what being is. Doing is the action, and that is the action of the production. Someone said to me today, what should I do? I go, you should produce money. If you own a business, produce the money to pay for your payroll. Produce the money to pay for your lifestyle, your livelihood. Produce the money to be your best entrepreneur, to provide for your family. And this isn't a novel concept. This is reality, and it's very prevalent that people avoid this because they are not in the present. Andrew Monroe, congratulations. Good to see you here. Andrew, in his direct sales business, just rank advanced. I'm very proud of Andrew. He is exceptional. Andrew, the topic for today is being, doing, and receiving. And so in a state of be, that's where you are one day at a time. You're being sober. And so this content is it's so connectable to recovery, because in recovery, you're one day at a time, and that's what you're being. You're being sober today. Many addicts go, what should I do today? Go to a meeting, read the big book, call your sponsor. I mean, these are just common commonalities that go over people's head. They go, well, I don't have time to do that. Well, what do you have time to be today? See, people will write a to-do list, but they don't have a to-be list. I mean, they don't ever put be my best self. Receive compliments with grace. I complimented someone today and it just went like this. Just went over their head. I said, excuse me, that was a compliment. Oh, a compliment. Yes, a compliment. Yes. So the last component of be, do, receive is receive means you're receiving. You can receive money. You can receive compliments. You can receive love. You can receive accolades. You can receive. Receive means you're open to receive. This is a context reality that most people keep in concept. Conceptually, many people can conceive receiving, but they're not giving themselves permission to receive. They've been conditioned, they've been gaslighted and ghosted, and then guilted and shamed into giving. And seldom is receiving a component of that reality. This is what over-obligating, enabling, doing more for others, being codependent, meaning putting more energy into other people than you do yourself. And so there's a big shift in balance. And oftentimes these people that we over-obligate ourselves to, and because we don't have clear boundaries, oftentimes these people then disappoint us. Now, they're not doing anything that they haven't already done. These people are setting themselves up to be disappointed. And in a state of being, you let go of that state of being disappointed. And instead you be conscious, you be aware, you understand, you're in the flow, you're letting go of the anxiety about the outcome that hasn't happened. Valerie, good to see you this afternoon. Topic for today's Facebook Live is being. That's a state of be. Be sober. Someone reached out to me recently and let me know they're in the state of relapse. What should I do? I go to a meeting. And they're like, fuck that. That was the answer I got. That was classic. Fuck that. I go to a meeting. So Barbara, good to see you, my sister. I am thrilled that my schedule allowed me to be here and soak in your wisdom. Barbara Williams, everyone say hello to Barbara. Barbara is my oldest client, longest term client on the books, going back to 1999. I started my coaching service in September of 1998, and Barbara was a 1999 coaching client. She is a world-class dog breeder and is a dog whisperer, and also is a very skilled network marketer. So I've known Barbara for many years, and Valerie says, yes, I teach this at yoga. Be. So be is also reference present. Be present. So you've seen me write this before, those of you who follow me. Be here, be now. It's an affirmation I say. People ask me how I'm doing. I'm not doing, I'm being, and I'm breathing, releasing, and letting go. That's a standard answer that I answer. Breathe, release, and let go. Lisa Brown, so awesome to have you here this afternoon. Lisa, honored to have been your coach a few years ago. The topic for today's Facebook Live is being, doing, and receiving. So receiving is a skill that very few people ever master. And I'm able to receive compliments. I'm able to receive money. I'm able to receive love. I am. See, I am is that's the now statement. That's present moment awareness. I am capable. I am able. I am good at. I am skilled at. So have you ever noticed when you compliment most of the planet, it just goes right over their head and they just keep talking because they are uncomfortable with receiving, but that person is usually a lot more comfortable with giving and over-obligating and enabling and rescuing and doing more for others in an unbalanced way. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't offer hands up like this, a hand up, not a hand out. So it's many people offer handouts and they give, but they're not skilled at receiving. You want to have balance in the two, where you're skilled at giving and equally skilled at receiving. And those of you who practice codependent recovery are now living in clearly defined boundaries. You're learning that you're, as an addicted over-obligator, you put yourself last, and then oftentimes taxes get put off, bills don't get paid, you lack money because you give your power away. And so this happens very frequently in society. That's why it's important that you understand that receiving is a skill and you become skilled at receiving. And it doesn't just mean money, it means the entire package of it. Love, compliments, gratitude, God's energy, you're able to receive it. You're able to receive it. You're able to receive that in, and that energy becomes life energy. And that energy then exudes when you transmute it. And so this book right here is very applicable to the content for today. David Hawkins, written 8 years ago, Transcending Levels of Consciousness. So you heard people mention, a woman said to me she wanted to speak to me about scaling her business. And I asked her, are you scaling yourself? And she was like, I never thought about that. So in scaling your consciousness means on the scale of the map of consciousness, you are elevating your energy by letting go. It's also called the vacuum law of prosperity. The great Bob Proctor used to do a video on that very term, and you can find that content on YouTube, the vacuum law of prosperity. It's the garage that you can't get a car in, so it's stuffed. But when you extract everything out of that garage, the car can drive in easily and effortlessly and park. The vacuum law of prosperity. So it's being able to extract what you're holding on to and let go of it, separate your feelings from the events that shape them, and receive the love of God, the love of other people, being able to receive compliments. And this is This isn't a concept. The context of this is, if you're not skilled at receiving, you'll have challenges being able to accrue the money to live a good life, to be able to accrue the money to buy the health products that you require in today's world, to buy the food resources, to be able to arm yourself, to be able to take care of yourself so that you're not dependent, you are independent. And in independency, you are in your own power. It means you don't require anyone else's approval. You don't require the government. We're one of the 3-letter agencies. We're here from the government. We're here to help you. That's what we are led to believe, and many of you have found that to be the exact opposite. So you are here to empower yourself. That is receiving. And that means you let go of selfishness, you let go of guilt, and you let go of shame, and you let go of grief. These are and apathy. So the most detrimental emotions that we hold on to are these 5: apathy, grief, guilt, shame, and overwhelmed feelings. Those are the most common emotions that we hold on to that disempower us. Jennifer, good to see you this afternoon. Ramilda, good to see you this afternoon. Veronica, good to see you. Matt Smith, and Matt says, I deserve to receive and experience what I desire. Joni, good to see you this afternoon. I'm looking forward to coaching you. For those of you on today's Facebook Live that are just joining me, the topic is being, doing, and receiving. So being is a state of being of what you are being today. You're being in peace. You're being in a relaxed body. You're being in the present, and that's the state you be. Be present. Doing is the action of what you do daily, rather than what you don't do daily is the inaction. So be, do, receive. Receive is you're able to receive it in. You're able to create the transactions. You're able to create the commerce. You're able to create the camaraderie, the joy, the love. You're able to experience that with people, with God, people in your circle of influence. You're receiving it. So in receiving that, that's what uplifts your energy. But when you're in apathy, grief, anxieties, fears, doubts, when you're in these low levels of emotions, you're transmuting your feelings from a very low vibration, very low energy. You're operating in fear, scared energy, scarce energy. But when you're in abundance, prosperity, you're in receive mode. You're exuding the love, you're exuding the joy, and people feel that, and they want to partner with you, buy from you, join you, be around you, ask you over for dinner, ask you out. I mean, this is when you're in this space, it's an organic magnetism that's going on. There are a few people who have this in life. They're born with it, and everyone else, it's a learned skill. Everyone can learn this. But if you've been guilted, shamed, and then conditioned that you're selfish, well, this can hinder your ability to receive. And so that you have balance in giving and receiving. Usually the scales are tipped like this. There's a lot more energy devoted to giving, not enough to receiving, and then many people find themselves exhausted, overwhelmed, they've over-obligated themselves, they've enabled situations, they've taken on too much on their plate. It shows up also in stuffed feelings of eating too much, overindulging in any other situations that most people hold on to. And this is why today, this afternoon, wherever you live, and I see there are a few people from around the country. Iman, I believe you're in Ireland, is that correct? Good to see you this afternoon. I saw a woman from Puerto Rico here this afternoon. Good to see all of you here on today's Facebook Live. I saw Lorena from Puerto Rico is here, so good to see all of you. Ramilda, my wife's mother, is here from Brazil, so it's an international crowd here this afternoon, and a lot of Americans and Canadians. I saw Eugenie here today from Canada. I see Matt Smith. I believe Matt Smith is on the road today. Matt, are you driving right now? Matt Smith is in over-the-road professional, and he frequently checks in when he is on the road. And I saw Scott Lucas is here from Boston. So there's a great group of inspired entrepreneurs and people who are seeking wisdom, insight. Charles Anthony Jablonski, congratulations on your successes. Michael Stroop from Bradenton, good to see all of you here this afternoon. Now that I'm grown up, I'm a skilled receiver. That's an affirmation have used for years. Receiving is a skill. I am a skilled receiver. Specifically, compliments. When someone compliments you, grace them with a thank you. Debbie in Discovery Bay, thank you very much in the backyard. So when someone compliments you, accept that. I mean, very few people are able to receive that in gratitude because they're living in scarcity. They check out in it, or it just goes right over their head. They're so unaccustomed to receiving a compliment that they don't even hear it. You actually deny someone the opportunity to compliment you by not receiving it. And this is why it's so important that you receive that. You receive that love. But and also many people will doubt the compliment and put the complimentor in a position to explain themselves. Why would you say that about me? Well, see, many people don't see themselves the way other people see them. And so many people will see the goodness in you. They'll see the talent you have within you. They'll see the energy that they know you're capable of, and they'll offer a compliment. And if you go into fight or flight, you're actually cutting that off. You're cutting off the flow of that, and you're denying someone the opportunity to share that love, that experience, that compliment with you. That's why it's so important that you let go and you receive those compliments. And it'll open you up in many other ways. Prosperity is prospero, in the flow, in a flow state, hands-free zone, in a state of being. And the more you understand that, the more that you're actually in that state of being right here, you're present. It means you're able to listen. You're hearing what's meant along with what's said. You're in the conversation. You're listening to what is being said, and you hear what's meant. You're able to hear a buy signal, hear a compliment. You're able to hear that someone isn't interested. And then in that state of being, your body's not relapsing back into feeling rejected, abandoned, and other situations. And Ruth just said, I'm open to receive. So that's a key affirmation. Now that I'm grown up, I'm a skilled receiver. I am open to receive. That opens you up to the entire world. It opens you up to the universe. It opens you up to a state of being. But when you're worried about money, worried about the future, when you're just continuing to get smaller and smaller, and you've completely cut off all the energy to be able to receive. Receiving is a skill. On the syllabus, I have right here, no more cheat days. So cheat days rob you of the opportunity to be your best self. A cheat day, as many people will, now there's a difference between taking a day off in gratitude versus cheating. So many people will avoid by cheating rather than just taking a relaxed day off free of all guilt. James says, Catherine Ponder, open your mind to receive book. Yes, I have that book right there back there on my shelf. Catherine Ponder also wrote the book, The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. James, thank you for that reminder. So in receiving, there's the creativity, the innovation, and that's your brilliance that you put into life, into the universe, into the atmosphere. You put that brilliance and you put that innovation, that creativity. These are your own ideas that you bring to free enterprise, that you can monetize. So your ability to write, articulate, create traffic. If you're an influencer, an affluencer, you're creating leads for yourself. It's going to come from innovation, creativity. And so you can receive that. So you can receive the leads back, and you want to be a skilled receiver. And that means the way you communicate with yourself for that to be a state of being is you would let go of how critical you are. If you are highly critical of yourself and also critical of others, it's going to be challenging to offer compliments, or it's going to be challenging to receive a compliment. Now, you can be skilled at complimenting people and still not receive it, and because of your own criticism of self. Letting go of being highly critical, you can do that by being honest with yourself. You can point out your character defects without being critical. You own the character defects. You own the challenges you have. You own them, and then one day at a time, you begin to master your emotions that will create the facility of change. The reason that change is difficult for most of the world because it represents the end of the era, the death of the ego. I myself experienced that. For years, I would tell myself, I can't see myself not drinking. I mean, vodka and scotch are who I am. I'm a happy hour person. I mean, happy hour. I mean, what does that even mean? Happy hour at 5 o'clock? It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I mean, this is the alcohol lore and the drug lore that so many people live in, and I was a byproduct of that myself. I couldn't see myself not drinking until the pain was great enough. And when the pain was great enough, I was forced to either be sober. That's not the way that you want it to be. You want to be able to do it in a very relaxed body, that the pain is great enough, that I don't require this anymore, that one day at a time I can master my emotions. And the way you communicate that, the way you receive that, it's either going to be hard or you're going to be accepted. Oh, it's so hard. I mean, I've said that before. I've seen people say it. So we create our own degree of difficulty by the way we interpret and communicate. And so the power of word, affirmation, to affirm, to state. Stephen Brantley, good to see you. I also saw Tim Johnson. Tim, good to see you. Good to see all of you. Quinn F. Curtis, good to see all of you. Quinn, you are magnetic. Good to see all of you here this afternoon. The topic for today's Facebook Live is right here. Being, doing, and receiving. So once again, being represents present moment awareness. Doing is the action of which you are, the action that you are producing daily. And the receiving is the reward. It's the harvest. It's the bounty. It's the money. It's the love that you receive for task well done. It's the compliments. Someone offering you a job opportunity. Someone offering you the opportunity to be their consultant. Someone offering you the opportunity to be in their team. I mean, any multitude of situations, it's your responsibility to receive what you feel is going to be a win-win situation, a good opportunity for you, an opportunity to share these situations. That Tim said, couldn't see myself not smoking weed for almost all my life. Now it's easy. Congratulations. Everyone give Tim Johnson a hand. Receive that, Tim. That is amazing. Thank you very much for sharing. I know Charles Jablonski is on here. He shared similar situations. That is amazing. Ashley Lynn, how are you this afternoon? So good to see you, Ashley Lynn. Good to see all of you here on Tuesday. This used to be a More Heart Than Talent mindset call, but now it's the Golden Mastermind Facebook Live, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, every Tuesday. Tony Kasmiski, good to see every one of you. I want to thank all of you for being here today. Dana says, I am open to receiving what I deserve. That is a great compliment. Dana, deserve is a great term. Deserve is a Latin word, deservie, to service. So that is a great term to integrate into your community. Early in my career, I used to say, now that I'm grown up, I deserve to receive. Grateful for my sobriety, day 297. Michael Stroop, 297 days of back-to-back sobriety, no cheat days. My absolute compliment to you. Have a great afternoon, everyone. I will be here this evening, 9 p.m. Pacific. That's 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That would be Wednesday morning, 9 o'clock Pacific. Have a great evening.